10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Shadow. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. 30 seconds forward, drift. Contact light. Okay, engine stop.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
July 20th, 1969. It's a day that most of us who were alive back then will never forget. Over 500 million people were watching as Neil Armstrong did the unthinkable and walked on the moon. That remarkable accomplishment was the pinnacle of NASA's Apollo space program. And as part of our celebration of the summer of '69, we're looking back at that monumental event and looking ahead to our potential future in space. And joining us now to talk about all that is Mike Massimino, a former NASA astronaut and senior advisor at the Intrepid Museum. Mike, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mike, you were a kid when Armstrong took that step on the lunar surface. Yep. Was that the event that led you to want to be part of the space program and maybe go into space yourself?
Yes, 100%, absolutely. That was it. Not only that, but the whole lead up. I was, as you said, I was little. I was 6 going on 7. And I remember Apollo 10 almost landing on the moon. And I remember the lead up to Apollo 11 that summer, watching the launch that morning on the 16th. And then in the evening, the walk. And it changed my life. And I think I realized I was just a little kid. You know, I remember clearly thinking, as a young person, 6 years old, saying to myself, "This is the most important thing that's ever happened in the history of the world." It's been 500 years since we've had anything like this, going back to the explorers 500 years earlier in the Renaissance, and it's going to be 500 years in the future until we have this, and this is going to mark our time. Yeah, and I remember thinking about that as a little boy.
You know, that anticipates my next question, because I was a little older than you, a few years older than you, when the moon landed, and I thought it was a cool thing.
You look young, though.
But you know, I remember Walter Cronkite. We talked about this last time you were here. Hot dog, oh golly.
Yeah.
And I said, oh God, that guy is not that cool. You know?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that he knew what I didn't, which this was an unbelievable, monumental feat, especially at a time I've consequently discovered where 60% of Americans had never gone on an airplane, and 96% of Americans still had rotary phones.
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on this, but just how monumental was this feat?
I still do believe it's the event that's going to mark our time. I think that we're going to look back at hundreds of years from now. They'll look back to this era, and I think it will be known as the era where we first left the planet. That's what's happened in our lifetimes, and I think that's what will be remembered. And for me, it was a little bit more than, I think everyone, as you said, 500 million people, was it that?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
You should get those ratings on your show here. It'd be great, right? Maybe you do. You should. But that's a lot of people tuning in. But for me,
it was the biggest audience at that time.
Right. But even for me, I think I knew it meant more to me than it did others. And I also connected in some way with Neil Armstrong and Mike Collins and Buzz and all those guys from back then. I looked at that as saying that's who I want to be when I grow up. I want to be like those guys. That's the kind of thing I want to do. How do I get to do that?
Well, you know, at the time of Apollo 11, I think everybody assumed that was only going to be the first step to further explorations.
Yeah.
In fact, Vice President Agnew at the time predicted that we were going to be in Mars by 2000.
Yeah.
We were not.
No,
We have not been.
No.
Why not? And was that a profound failure on our part?
I think it was, on to Mars eventually is really what, because we've been talking about it. We thought every astronaut class, I think, since that time frame has been hired by NASA, thinking that one of us in this room will be the first person on Mars. That's what we thought in 1996 when I joined. And I think eventually it's going to happen, but I don't think it's a failure. No, I think it's just really a characteristic of exploration, that it's so hard to get to a new place or to do a new thing at first that's all you concentrate on, and you don't necessarily set yourself up for a long-term stay. We've talked before about this, where you have, looking back at the exploration, other periods of exploration where going to the poles, North Pole, South Pole, people got there, was a race to get there, and once they got there, said, what do we do? Let's go home. And that's what they did. And it was about 50 years until they set up a research station on Antarctica after they first got there. So I don't think this is that all much different. It was such a hard task. It was such an accomplishment, so difficult to get to the moon, and it still is. We haven't been back in a long
50
time
years,
with people, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to do that, to send people places. But I think that's okay, and I think now's the time to look at it a little bit differently. A much more experience in space travel. Now with the shuttle and the space station programs, we've had the Skylab before that led to the space station and shuttle and so on.
Yeah, well, as you know, Vice President Pence announced in March that NASA had been directed to get astronauts back in the moon by 2004, 5 years from now. In this case, a man and a woman.
Yeah.
2004, 5 years
24.
from now. 2024.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. Just want to make sure I'm in the right decade, because this is what
You
happens.
time traveled while
Right,
you were in the
okay,
shuttle.
Yeah, that's fine.
So 2024, that's 5
Yeah.
years. Is
Yeah.
that feasible?
Yeah, I think the moon is. We're building a gigantic rocket, we meaning our country, a gigantic rocket called the Space Launch System, and a spacecraft to go on top of it, which is called Orion. That we could certainly at least send people to the moon. Whether they could land or not, you're going to need a lot of... Because the other thing that people don't always appreciate is once they got to the moon and they landed and did their spacewalk and collected the rocks, they needed to come home, which meant they had to blast off again.
Yeah.
And if you have trouble on Earth, which we have sometimes with launches, you can hopefully shut it down and try another day. But if it doesn't work on the moon, you're out of luck. So I don't know how much we can actually accomplish as far as setting up that infrastructure to stay, but certainly sending people back to the moon in some fashion in 2024.
The idea is to
possible.
establish a base to then go to
That
Mars.
would be great to start doing that. Yeah, we can do that. We can do anything we want to do, really, to put our minds to it. But I think the moon now is within our reach, again, to stay. And I think it's different than just a visit.
So if the country goes back to the moon and you had an opportunity to do it, would you do it?
Yeah, I'd go, but they're not going to choose me. I'm gone. I'm out of. They'd have to train me up again, and I'm a little bit too old. There's, there.
Oh, come on.
Well, yeah, no, truth. I mean, they have a new group of astronauts that'll do that. I hope maybe someday go back as a tourist. I hope they get a chance to go back in space again someday. But if they offered, yeah, I'd go.
All right,
yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Well, thanks so much for coming here today.
All right.
It's been a pleasure to talk to you as
Thanks
always.
for having me.